This will be my final walk and talk morning video. Get that fucking trash out of your life. You have legacies to build. We grew that business from 3.4 million to 17.1. Horsepower, not horse shit. You want to be the parent that's an ally. They don't need another fucking friend. Not everybody's cup of whiskey. Toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Be relentless. You can relax. I'm not going anywhere and nothing is changing. I'm just actually being more congruent, more honest with myself. And I believe that it's important that I do what I teach. I've always been the type of consultant who prided myself in, I've done that and I'm still doing that. And the day that I haven't done it at a championship level and I'm still not doing it at a championship level is the day that I plan to disappear. What I mean by that is I teach a very few select topics that I have experience at. I've had experience winning in these areas and I still am winning in these areas today. Marketing, advertising, copywriting, mental toughness, and lifestyle business. Those are the areas that I pride myself in having my personal expertise. I don't talk about anything else. I'll talk a little bit about sports. I'll talk about winning. I'll talk about money making. I'll talk about wealth creation, because these are all things that I've done in the past at a top 1% level, whether it's winning hockey championships, whether it's building multiple 6, 7, and 8-figure companies, whether it's direct response marketing, whether it's writing emails that have brought in millions of dollars, designing flyers, writing sales letters, public speaking, you name it. But the majority of stuff I don't talk about because, first of all, I've never won in those things, and I'm not a what you would call an expert in those areas, so I don't talk about them. I don't talk about the things that my queen Krista is an expert in. I don't talk about meditation. I don't talk about yoga. Good morning. I don't talk about mindfulness. I don't talk about any of those topics because I don't know anything about them. I don't have a track record of success. One of the things that bothers me the most about 2023, and it's internet driven, it's AI driven, it's social media driven, is there's so much bad advice out there. We are awash in bad advice from people who've never won. We are awash in bad advice from pretend experts, fake gurus, and fuzzy-headed academics who've never left campus. You know, dispensing advice about business when they've never ever built, created, hired, paid taxes. They've never built a business successfully. They've never won, they've never lost, they've never done what they teach. So they have no clue what it's like to lie awake at 3 a.m. at night wondering if you're going to be able to make payroll the next day. They have no idea what it's like to lie awake in bed at night thinking about the employee you have to terminate the next day. They have no idea what it feels like to be broke, to be on the brink of the bank foreclosing on your company. They've never done what they teach. Same with these fake pretend gurus, these youngsters wet behind the ears living in mummy's basement, selling products on how to get rich on the internet, or selling products on AI, or selling products on how to write copy or sell products or drop ship. And they've done none of it. They've never won at the game they teach. They're what I call pretend experts. 20, 24, and 25-year-old kids who've never built anything successfully, and the only thing they sell, the only company they've ever had, is the one selling the long on style, short on success product. They're all charlatans. They're all charlatans. And I'm offended by anybody who sells something they've never won at. Same thing with the fuzzy-headed academic crowd. The professors with 17 letters behind their names, but never can't tie their shoes in the real world. And they're preaching about business and marketing and advertising and sales, and they've never left campus in the last 50 years. Their success at best is in their distant memory. They talk about things that they used to do. I'm a big proponent of still winning. You have to still be doing the work to be teaching it. You still have to be out there every day in the trenches. And you have to be, still hiring people, firing people, paying taxes, dealing with red tape, building companies, building lists. You have to be doing it all to be able to teach it with integrity. So the reason I'm adjusting my world, and I'm no longer going to be shooting my walk and talk morning videos that I've done now consistently for a year and a half. I took a little break at Christmas last year. I did 366 straight videos. I never missed a single day, no days off. Moved to a different country, a different state. Snow, freezing rain, heat, bugs, China virus, happy, sad, inspired, not inspired, never missed a day. Shot 366 consecutive videos, some of them 30 minutes, some of them 60 minutes. I never missed a day. I said I would send you an email every day. I said I would send you a video every day that would give you a mental kick in the pants. And I did that. I kept my word, and I did one extra day, 366 total. And then I took a short break, and admittedly, I missed it. Admittedly, I missed shooting a video. It was an interesting thing when it was over. Mark Andre, my business partner who puts these videos together, all I do is shoot them on my broken iPhone. This is all I do. I shoot them on my broken iPhone. I have a broken gimbal here. All I do is walk and talk. I don't have any notes. I don't usually even have any clue what I'm going to talk about. Everything is from my heart. Everything is from my sleeve. Everything is what I believe is the unvarnished truth. I don't talk in riddles or cliches. I just walk and talk. I just walk and talk, and whatever the good Lord brings to me, whatever he says, whatever, I'm inspired. It's all about how can I help more men? What do I talk about? I ask the question when I open my eyes in the morning, what can I talk about to serve more men? And then it comes to me. I have never ever had a morning where I got up and I did not know what to speak about. And that's the power of mission. That's the power of values. That's the power of goals. I want to help 1 million men over the next 10 years build the world of their dreams. I want to help you build a world you never need to escape from. I want to help you build a badass world you never need to vacation from, unless you choose to go on a vacation. No more escaping, no more sedating, no more medicating, no more escaping into negative behaviors. Being 100% physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually present. Life is a gift. It's my job. It's my life's work now to inspire, educate 1 million men over the next 10 years and help them build the badass world of their dreams so they can live life and do business on their own terms. There is no life if you can't live life and do business on your own terms. To me, that's what entrepreneurship is all about. It's about the grind, it's about the work, it's about building, it's about hiring, it's about serving other people, it's about answering your call, but it's also about freedom, control, independence, autonomy, and personal sovereignty. My most successful clients are chasing personal sovereignty. They're building their legacy, they're working on something that's going to outlive their human life. They're terrified of being forgotten. They want to be remembered long after their life as a man or a woman who served other people. They want their grandkids to remember them and their company. They want their great-grandkids and their great-great-great-grandkids, when they search them online in 200 years and 300 years, they want to be remembered. They want a badass footprint. Man, great-grandfather was a badass. Great-great-great-grandfather was a badass. He served people. He helped people. That's called living a life of significance, men. That's called living a life of significance, more than just about you. No service, no success. I have it written on my wall. No service, no success. Every single thing I do as a business operator, before I send an email, before I write a telegram, before I write my newsletter, before I shoot one of these, shoot one of these videos, before I do anything, even a charity like my daughter's lemonade stand. Who can we help when we're doing this? Some things are all charity, but not everything. When I'm writing a telegram or an email, who can I serve? No service, no success. No service, no success. And if you don't have any service, if you don't serve other people, there's no significance. And that means you'll be forgotten. You'll be forgotten except by your immediate family at best. You'll be forgotten 15 minutes after you're gone. Your queen will remember you, your kids, and that's it, and a few friends. That's not a life of significance. A life of significance is the people you positively impact in your life. You know, all the people that you positively impact. And you can do that through multiple ways. You have multiple gifts to give back, to share what you're learning, to share your stories, to share your failures, to share your wins, to share with other people. No service, no success. No success, no significance. And this is a biggie. No significance, no legacy. No legacy. I don't remember that guy. I don't remember that guy. Who was he? What did he do? I just searched. What was he? Was he just an insurance agent? It's forgettable. He was just, he owned a jewelry store. Is that all he did? Michael McLean. He sold insurance policies. He's pretty good at it. Who cares? Who cares? Who did he serve? He was the guy who started that barber shop. I remember that when we were kids. Who cares? He cut hair? Who cares? Or service equals success, success equals significance, and significance equals your badass legacy. Your life is now memorable. Your life is now memorable. Man, that person, he helped a lot of kids. He had that youth center, or he taught me in Sunday school, or she taught me baseball or football. She volunteered at the Rotary Club, or he worked in children's literacy. He was the president of the Lions Club and raised all that money for families who didn't have enough money for snowsuits and jackets in the winter. Man, he made a difference. He served 100,000 people in his community. He helped build the new pool. Oh, he helped fundraise for the new ballpark. Oh, he donated millions to the library. Oh, he's the reason that that youth center exists. Man, it's endless. No service, no success. No success, no significance. No significance, no legacy. You will be forgotten. Scares the shit out of me. That's why every day I get up and say, well, who can I serve with this day? I give it the Ben Franklin line. Who and what will I do with this day? Who and what will I do with this day? Who and what? What will I do with this day, and who will I serve with this day? And then before I close my eyes, I write in my journal the answer to that question. What did I do with this gift, this day, and who did I serve with this day? Answer those two questions and stop focusing about all your own problems. If you're struggling with depression, it means you're too selfish, you're focused on yourself, you're focused in the past, living in the past. To be depressed, you gotta breathe a certain way, you gotta carry your certain way, you have to have a certain body language, your movie in your mind has to play a certain way. You have to be completely and entirely focused on yourself. You're not grateful, you're not thinking about all the blessings in your life, you're not focused on serving other people at all. You're just focused on your own past problems. You're depressed. You have to do certain things to be depressed. You're working at being depressed. You're addicted to your misery. Same thing with anxiety. There's about 2% of the population that actually suffer medically from these mental illnesses. 2%, maybe 1%. So if a person's anxious, just like depression, they have to be living in the future. In other words, they don't have their feet in today. When you're depressed, you're living in the past. Oh, I really blew it then. My parents were tough. I had a tough upbringing. Living in the past, nobody cares. And then to be anxious, you got to do all the same stuff. You got to breathe the same way. You got to have the bad body language, the shallow breathing. You got to do all of these things. Plus, you need to entirely focus on yourself. So you need to focus on only you and your problems. Oh, I'm so up. I've got this coming. I've got this coming. I'm so stressed. I'm so anxious. What will I do about this? This is coming up this week. This is coming up next month. You're living in the future instead of both feet in today. You have control about what's happening now. When you keep both feet in today, you have control about what is happening now. That's the difference right there. You change your body language, you change your breathing, you change what you put. Good morning, look at these two. Nice. 1%. That's Tim Thompson, who yesterday we donated Emery's lemonade stand money to for the Southwest Florida Conservancy. They look after animals and wildlife and nature. They clean up the mess from too much quick development. That was Tim's explanation of the great work those 300 employees do at that program. They help turtles and snakes and birds and bald-headed eagles and rattlesnakes and fish, and they're all animals that have been injured or misplaced because of massive development. I'm a pro developer. I believe we have to develop, but there's a right way to do things that's in congruence with the environment, which is in congruence with Mother Nature, which is in congruence with what is right. And these wonderful people at the Conservancy of Southwest Naples do that. And Emery, thanks to many of the men that watch these videos and women, my clients, my video watchers, my mastermind members, my newsletter brothers, made nice donations, $100, $500, $1,000. And Emery yesterday presented Tim with a check for $5,500. $5,500. No service, no success. No success, no significance. No significance, no legacy. It took me a little bit of work every day for 7 days to make that happen. Emery's lemonade stand took a few hours of work. I did it with her. Krista did it with her. And then a few emails to my list of brothers, my friends, my clients, my video watchers. Sat down and wrote a few emails, sent one fax, $5,000, another $100 came in yesterday. So basically $5,600 for the Conservancy because of marketing to my list. No success with no service. No service, no significance, and no significance, no legacy. So every day, that's what to ask yourself. Who have I been called to serve and what is my calling? And then Benjamin Franklin, are you answering that calling every day? Are you answering that calling every day? What shall I do with today? Who shall I serve with today? Then at the end of the day, what did I do with this glorious day? And who did I serve with this glorious day? The moon, even though it's just coming up to 7 a.m., the moon is up there above. It's just like at night. Wow. The rewards you get for doing your road work before everybody else is awake are just extraordinary. If it's not the sun rising a little bit later, it's the fresh air, it's the smell of that morning air. It's the rabbit that runs in front of you and stops to look. When we're home in Canada, I have the baby deer will come out and walk around the fields in the morning. I'll see the mom or the dad. You see the most incredible birds. The smell of the fresh day. The dew, in the winter, the fresh snow. There's no tire tracks yet. There's no footprints in the snow. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, unmarked winter wonderland. And you're out there in nature, and you're out there in the sunshine, and you're out there in the cold, and you're out there in the rain. There's nothing, people call me crazy because I am. But I love to walk in liquid sunshine. I love to walk in the rain, especially here in Florida when it's warm out. There's just something about walking in a light rain that's just so refreshing and renewing. I can't explain it. It's just nature. It doesn't have to be sunny. It doesn't have to be hot. It just has to be outside, and every day is unique and a blessing. So why am I not shooting any more of these walk and talk morning videos? Well, I'm not going to be doing it because I need to be doing what I teach. I need to stop lying to the man in the mirror, and it's time for me to be the best version of myself. I need my morning 15,000 steps with nobody but Michael McLean. Nobody but Michael McLean. The only people that are going to be invited on my 70-minute walk, 15,000 steps, give or take, is my golden gut, my intuition, and my creator. That's it. See, this is multitasking, which I don't believe in. I believe that we have the ability to focus on one thing. One thing. You have the ability to focus on one thing, not two things. You may think you can drive and text. You may think that you can listen to music and copyright and also check your phone. But the reality is, multitasking is doing a whole bunch of things, none of them well. Multitasking is doing a whole bunch of things, none of them well. So I don't multitask. What I do is when I read, I read. There's nothing else I do. When I write, when I copyright, I copyright. When I walk, I've been doing it for 21 years, I walk. But admittedly, I've got away from that over the last year and a half because I wanted so badly to shoot these videos. And multitasking was a way of getting up, putting on this iPhone video, and killing two birds with one stone. And it was amazing because I get back to the house at 7 o'clock, and here I've got in my 15,000 steps, and I got a video for the next day. And Mark Andre would be like, great, another video, awesome. You're winning the day by 7 o'clock in the morning. You're winning the morning. But I'm not winning the morning. My wife, Krista, brought my attention to this several times, and I'm finally taking her advice, where she said, you need to take care of Michael McLean on those walks. Those walks at 5:59 in the morning are not for the thousands of people that follow you. Those walks are for Michael McLean. They're so that you can actually help a million men. Because if you don't put on your oxygen mask first, as the cliche states, then I can't help anybody. I can't help anybody unless I first take care of what's most important to me. I can't be a great father. I can't be a great husband. I can't be a great entrepreneur. I can't be an elite coach if I don't take care of myself first. People pleasing is the root of all evil. So what I decided is I said, okay, what is my most important time? My most important time is when I put my shoes on, I say my prayer, I drink some water, and I head out on these, on these morning walks. And what's important is these are not just physical. If this was just physical, I can then talk to you, and that's great. I get in my steps if it was only physical. But I keep telling you, the power of walking is everything else that it'll do for you as a man. Like, walking to me is a spiritual experience. Walking to me is time with my Creator. It's time for me to listen. It's time for me to humble myself. It's time with me and God. And it's different for every person. You could walk and have time with, whatever, your Creator, the universe, whatever you personally believe in. I don't care. But for me, it's my time with my Creator. Well, my time with my Creator is not when I'm shooting a video. It's not when I'm staring into a screen on a broken iPhone. Secondly, I believe walking is an emotional experience. It's an emotional experience. You know how many times I get up and I don't want to put my shoes on? I've got, that emotion where I don't want to do it 75% of the time. David Goggins says 75% of the time doesn't want to put his shoes on and run. But he puts on his shoes and runs 100% of the time. Same for me with walking. I don't miss 365. So it's an emotional experience in self-discipline. When I put on the shoes and I walk, I say, okay, I'm just gonna walk for 5 minutes. I'm just gonna walk for 10 minutes. Do you understand what that does for me when I end up coming back in the door 70 minutes later? It's given me that gold star to myself where I'm like, damn it, I did it. I didn't feel like doing it. I said, I'm gonna walk 5 minutes. Then I walked 10 minutes. 10 minutes turned into 20. 20 turned into 70. And I start my day with a victory. I start my day by, patting that guy in the back in the mirror. I start my day by giving myself a mental and emotional gold star. So walking for me is not just a spiritual experience, it's also an emotional experience. Sometimes I'll start walking and I'm a little down, or I'm sad, or I'm low energy, and man, walking brings me to life. Nature brings me to life. Fresh air brings me to life. Sunshine brings me to life. Saying good morning to people brings me to life. Spending time with my Creator brings me to life. So it's a spiritual and emotional experience for me every day. Also, it's a mental experience in mental toughness. It's getting up and doing something you said you would do. It builds mental calluses. When you put that red X up on the calendar, it's like, damn it. I said I was gonna walk 30 minutes and I did it. That's how you build personal integrity. That's how you build self-esteem. That's how you give yourself those gold stars where you're like, you know what? I say we fucking well do. It's not about feelings. It's not about emotions. It's about self-discipline. Because I don't care what talent you have. If you don't have self-discipline, you don't have anything. If you don't have self-discipline in your world, you don't have anything. You don't have anything without self-discipline. So that's what separates the winners from the losers. I don't feel like putting on my shoes. I don't feel like putting on my rucking vest. I don't feel like going out into the cold and the snow and the freezing rain. But I do it anyways because I'm self-disciplined. So anytime we use a muscle, what does it do? It makes the muscle what? It makes the muscle stronger. So when I use self-discipline, when I get my ass out of bed and I do what I said that's stone cold self-discipline. Unfeeling stone cold discipline. I get up, I splash some water on my face, I pray, I drink some water, I put on my shoes, my rucking vest, and I'm out the door. Stone cold discipline. And guess what? Day after day, I do it for 7 days, and I do it for 14 days. Then I do it for 365. What that does is that builds those mental calluses. In other words, I call it self-discipline integrity. Your brain and your mind starts to say, well, you know what? I don't negotiate with the process. Good morning. I don't negotiate with any of that. Good morning. And all of a sudden you have more integrity with yourself. All of a sudden you have a lot more, it takes what it takes mentality. You fall in love with the process. So walking is a mental toughness experience as well. And it's a physical experience. It's feet on the pavement, it's feet on the sidewalk, it's feet on the road. It's, 5,000 steps or 10,000 steps or 15,000 steps. And it's a physical experience. I want to be connected with nature. I want to be out here. I want to feel my feet. I want to feel my back. I want to feel my shoulders. I want to be congruent and mindful of my breathing. That's a really big thing. I can't do that when I'm talking on a video. And the biggest thing that walking is for me, and it'll be for you too as well, is it's where all of your next big ideas come. Whether it's your creator speaking to you or your golden gut or your intuition. Your next great marketing idea, advertising idea, family idea as a husband, idea as a father, a grandfather, whatever it is, your next life-changing ideas always come when I'm walking or when I'm reading. People ask me all the time, they're like, Michael, where do you come up with this endless stream of ideas? Whether it's business, whether it's charity, whether it's ideas for videos, whether it's ideas for your emails, where do you come up with this endless stream of ideas? Your creativity is off the chart. It's off the hook. Simple. When I'm walking and when I'm reading. And that's something that I've personally neutered by having this broken phone in my face. In other words, when I get back home, I don't have a list of, 10 ideas. I don't have any ideas because I've been pouring all of my energy and focus into this one video. So that's really critical. It's my golden magic time. It's my magic time for me to think, to clear my mind. My dad, who's been walking for 35 years, always says, he goes, the first half of his walk, he does what he calls a brain dump. He gets rid of any negativity he has, anything that's bothering him, anything that's making him anxious or stressed. And he just thinks it through from a solution point of view, and then he dumps it. Halfway through his walk, it's gone. This is what I'm going to do for that, if anything. And it's gone. Brain dump. And then the second half of his half-hour walk, he says he does what he calls his solution part of his walk, where it's just like, when I get home, I'm going to attack this goal. When I get back to the house, I'm going to attack this goal. I'm going to make, good morning, I'm going to make this phone call. I'm going to send this email. And I'm going to take this action to fix this problem. So brain dump, and then his attacks. And he's been doing that for 35 years walking. My dad was diagnosed with diabetes 35 years ago. Scared the living hell out of him. Healthy guy, he's almost 90. My dad's going to be 90 this September. And he went to the doctor and they said, listen, Frank, you have diabetes. And he was like, ooh. He said, the doctor said, listen, we can treat this with diet and exercise. They say that to everybody, but nobody does anything about it. And he said, but probably you're going to be looking at taking insulin. Sooner than later. Well, that was 35 years ago. My dad came home that day, I'll never forget it. And he said, I ain't taking no fucking needles. And my mom, with her help and support, Environments for Champions, Willpower's for Chumps, my dad changed his diet. He changed to a higher protein diet. He got rid of a lot of the white sugar. He got rid of the pop. He used to drink Coca-Cola, used to drink ginger ale, sugar, all this stuff. Got rid of all that stuff instantly. He didn't have to go see any dietitian or any of that stuff. He knew what he had to do. And good morning, and he did it. And then he started walking for the first time in his life. Like, we were laughing. My dad's in the Hall of Fame, the Hockey Hall of Fame for the Perth Blue Wings. Like, he's one of the greatest athletes in history in our area, of our community. And I'm like, you're gonna walk? I said, I see you as more of a sprinter. He said, no. He said, my doctor recommended walking. He says, I'm gonna walk twice a day, in the mornings and the evenings. And I was like, really? So he bought these good shoes. He bought some Nike or Adidas shoes, and he wore them, and he started walking every morning. And he would grab the dog and he'd put on his fluorescent vest and he would walk 20 minutes up the road, 20 minutes back, 7 days a week. He never missed, ever missed for 20 years straight. And then back in those days, after dinner at night, like, I don't know, 7 p.m., he would come out on the driveway, because sometimes it was dark, and he would walk on the driveway for 15 minutes, one large circle. They have a long driveway. And I'm like, and then he'd come in, watch the ball game or watch the hockey game. But discipline, without self-discipline, you're nothing. And didn't matter how he felt. It wasn't his feelings. It wasn't an emotional thing. He just knew he had to do what he had to do to avoid taking insulin. So 35 years old, and he's almost 90, and he's never ever taken a shot of insulin. And also, he's God willing, he's never to this point ever he's never had any complications through diabetes, because he's taken control of the situation. He took accountability for it. He didn't have the right diet. I think he said, he goes, son, it's my fault. So it's my responsibility to correct this as much as I can. So this is the delayed consequences of a poor diet, the delayed consequences of drinking pop and cola. He says, this is the delayed consequences. So he said, now it's my responsibility to manage this. I can't fix it. I can't fix it completely. It's my job and responsibility to manage this the best way I can. I'm not going to do it with drugs. I'm not going to do it with medications if I don't have to. But it's my job to manage the problem that I created. And I was like, wow, as a young man, that was an incredible example. His diabetes. I ain't taking a fucking shot of insulin ever. That's what he told me privately. He didn't say it to the doctor, but that's his mindset. And then he got busy working and changing. And the rest is history. 90 this September, God willing. So, no more walking and talking videos, but nothing will change for you, because I'm going to use this to get better. So I'm going to be out here at 6 in the morning every day, and it's just going to be Michael McLean walking like the old days. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be out here tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, and I'll be walking and talking, but with Michael McLean. I'll be listening to my creator. I'll be connecting with my golden gut. I'll be listening for my $1 million intuition. I'll be breathing. I'll be listening to my breathing. I'll be looking at the sunrise. I'll be listening to nature. I'll be aware of all the tiny, ordinary blessings around me. I won't be staring into a screen. And that way I can start my day, and I don't touch my phone, and I don't do anything technology-wise till 11 a.m. That's one of my personal rules. Unless there's an emergency, I don't touch a phone, I don't touch the computer, and everything I do, I win the morning, the first 3 to 4 hours. I conquer the chaos of the afternoon, and then in the evenings, that's when I build my legacy with my family. Fully connected in the evenings, unless again I'm sitting there by myself, and I read most of the time. So this is going to be better because I don't have to power on my phone at 6 in the morning so I can shoot this video. I don't check my email, I don't check my text or anything like that. But I actually don't want to be anywhere near this stuff first thing in the morning. I don't want to be looking at a screen. I don't want to be doing any of that. This time is for me. And it's what I teach, so it's what I better do. You know what? If I'm going to have integrity, if I'm not going to be a bullshitter like these other guys, these other charlatans and these pretend experts and these wet behind the ear gurus, then time for me to walk my talk. So it's not going to change anything for you, because I'm just going to shoot the video in the afternoon when I'm conquering the chaos of the day. They'll be even better videos because when I wake up first thing in the morning, we're all at our best. Those first 3 to 4, maybe 5 magic hours. That's your maximum creativity time. That's when you're best. Your writing is your best in the first hour. Your copywriting, your marketing, any of your creativity and thinking is at its very best first thing in the morning. That's why you call those first 3 hours to 5 hours max. That's why you call those your magic hours. But the reality is the one thing that I struggle with first thing in the morning is shooting videos. So if you've enjoyed these videos, I can promise you they're going to get even better good morning. They're going to get even better in the next little while, because in the afternoons, like I write in the morning, that's my time. My reading, that's my time. But I think I can do an even better job with these videos in the afternoons. So it doesn't make any difference to you, does it? But here's the thing. After I've been sitting for a while, I've been reading, copywriting, checking email. What's better in the afternoon than a nice half-hour walk, a second walk like my dad? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot these walk and talk videos. It's going to still be me out here, but it's going to be in my second walk of the day. And I need that walk because I'm sitting at a desk. I'm sitting on a computer, and in the afternoons, I really need that walk. So after I've done all my magic work, after I've had my magic time and I've done my deep work, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my lunch, and then I'm going to grab my camera and this broken iPhone, and I'll go and I'll shoot my video. It'll give me a little bit more time to think about exactly what I'm going to talk to you about, how I'm going to serve you better. So that's what's going to happen regardless. Tomorrow at 5:59, 6 a.m., you'll have a video in your email box, or there'll be a video here on YouTube. Next day, same thing, 6 a.m., I'll be there every day. The only difference is I'm going to shoot the video the day before in the afternoon. So I hope you take this to heart in terms of your own walking. Like when you head out to walk, like David Goggins says it best. He says, if you're listening to music and podcasts when you walk, you're cheating. That's fucking cheating. And I believe it. And basically Goggins has called me out personally, because shooting a video and walking like I was doing is cheating. That's cheating. And if I'm completely candid with myself, I'm cheating. That's not solitude. That's not an emotional experience. That's not a spiritual experience. That's not an intuition and golden gut experience. I'm just shooting a video. I'm multitasking. So I'm with Goggins on this one, where I was cheating. I was cheating myself. I'm cheating you, and I'm gonna fix it. So that time is going to be for me, for my ideas, for thinking, for creativity, for time with my creator. And like David Goggins said, if you're doing that stuff on your morning walk, if you have your cell phone with you on your morning walk, that's cheating. I don't care if you have it on airplane mode or whatever that goofy stuff is. It's the same thing. It's like taking a pack of cigarettes with you. But I didn't smoke on the walk, Michael. Or taking a bottle of vodka with you and putting it in your pocket. Well, I didn't drink during my walk. Like it's a worse addiction than those two. Cell phone addiction is worse than tobacco. It's worse than alcohol. It's worse than drugs. It's the ultimate attack on manhood. So if you take your cell phone, or you listen to podcasts, or you, whatever it is, talk on the phone, or put those earbuds 2 inches from your brain, just think about that. 6G, 5G, whatever the fuck it's called, near your brain. Whoa, delayed consequences for that. We're now plugging things in our ears, man. We're now plugging technology that hasn't been tested in our ears. Every time you put those white buds in there, I don't wear them, right? I got my wife to stop wearing them. Dan Lazonis was telling me about those, and the difference in now the technology, the 5G, whatever's coming. He said putting those inside your ear, and there's nothing to show what it's done. He goes, that's within 1 to 2 inches of your prefrontal cortex, your brain, and whatever is going on there. I ain't plugging any of that shit into my number one muscle, my brain. No thank you. I'll read, I'll talk, but I won't be doing any of that stuff. So if you're doing any of that stuff on your walk, you're cheating. You can't listen to your creator. You can't come up with ideas. You can't be focused in nature. You can't have both feet in today. You can't be connected with the morning. You can't be connected with your creator. And you can't come up with your big ideas because you're listening to Johnny Cash or AC/DC, or you're listening to Ed Milet. You can do that shit later. You can do that stuff anytime, but your morning time, the first hour of the day, whenever you walk, that's your solitude. That's your silence. And I wrote about this in the April Michael McLean letter. There we are, brother.
How you doing?
A perfect circle.
Have a great day.
See ya.
Good to see you, man.
They surfing with his dog. Man, that's my type of guy. He got a badass t-shirt. It's not easy for me to give a badass t-shirt because most people are poodles, but I gave Tim a badass t-shirt and a copy of my book months ago. Anybody that surfs with his dog and raises funds for animals, badass. So shaking his hand is like shaking a hand of a lumberjack. It's like when Joe Thornton, NHL Joe Thornton, played for me as a kid, played for me as a 15-year-old. Joe was going to be the number one pick in the NHL, and he went on to play 20-some years in the NHL, San Jose. And when Joe shook my hand, when I was coaching him in junior, I met him for the first time. He's 15 years old. It was like I shook hands with a lumberjack. And I said, my God, this kid is going places. Like, you just can't. That's genetics, baby. That's genetics. So I wrote about this in the April newsletter, about how important that is, that we're able to use that solitude time, that magic time, to listen for our great ideas, because that's when they're going to come. And if you don't have what's being recommended now, for whatever that matters, 30 minutes of being alone a day, 30 minutes of solitude a day minimum, 30 minutes of silence a day. Do you think most people have, 30 seconds? There's no possible way. So if you want to get in your minimum 30 minutes of solitude, 30 minutes of being alone, 30 minutes of quiet, 30 minutes of silence and solitude, then there it is on your walk, on your 30-minute walk, on your 45-minute walk. You've covered that base. And the reason we need solitude and silence, the reason we need to embrace being alone is because people can't do it anymore. They can't sit. Test yourself. Can you sit for 5 minutes in a chair? Can you sit for 5 minutes out back looking at the sunrise? Can you sit for 5 minutes in your car with no radio, no phone? Can you do any of it? My money is you can't. Most people can't. So I'm able to sit for hours and hours on end with nothing more than just myself and my thoughts. I don't even need a pen and paper. I'm talking about solitude. I'm not talking about sitting with a journal. I'm talking about literally badass solitude. Can you be alone? Can you be alone? And if not, you better start practicing that muscle by leaving your phone at home on your morning walks. You know, listen to the podcast some other time. You know, that time belongs to you. Be alone, embrace solitude, embrace silence, and see how that transforms your life. There's still time when I shoot this video, I'm pretty sure, to get a copy of my May Michael McLean newsletter, World Building Letter. Go to michaelmcleanletter.coach, michaelmcleanletter.coach. The link is below. If you have found value in these videos, make sure you pay it forward, pay the tax. I don't charge. I do these for free. If you know somebody in your life that can benefit from these morning kicks in the pants, mental kicks in the pants, then please like these videos, comment on my videos, subscribe to these videos, and most importantly, share them with people that need to hear them. Is it a business partner? Is it a friend? Is it a guy you golf with? Is it one of your adult children? Is it a teenager who needs to hear it? Anybody that needs to hear these positive, no nonsense, kick in the pants messages every day. Make sure you're paying the tax, pay it forward, and please share these videos every day with people that you feel need to hear them as well. That's it. Immigration for my newsletter closes in, my God, it's coming up right now. If you want to subscribe, I'll send you a free t-shirt. If you upgrade to Diamond, I'll send you one of my new badass ball caps. michaelmcleanletter.coach. That's it. 2 words that change my life, 2 words that'll change yours. Be relentless.